This video is sponsored by Ankama Games, and I thought I'd share with you one of their newer games, and this is Super Nano Blaster. This is a classic shooter available on Steam now for $11.99. It's on sale briefly for launch, 20% off, and this is a classic shooter, and I really love supporting these independent games that don't get a lot of attention. You can choose your language, and it is recommended to play this with a gamepad, and so you can use mouse and keyboard if you want to challenge. Lots of difficulty and various options. You can set up your controller however you want to play this. Lots of different options, and I love that. So I'm using NES PC controller, but you can play it your way. And so I really like what they've done here. This is a throwback to a classic shooter, but it has some elements in it. It has that switch element that some classic shooters have, kind of like Ikaruga as an example of a game that had a really nice switch element to it, and this one's great. And so, you know, I love classic shooters. This one has lots of different options. There is local co-op. That's really awesome. I love local co-op games, and you can do that with this. Cool music. It's got a cool vibe to it. You know, it's got that pixel art, and yeah, you can switch back and forth, and that's the challenge with this game, as it gets really intense. I'm playing it on normal difficulty, but it goes all the way up to black hole. I mean, it gets super intense, as well as there's an infinite mode, and so there's some gameplay replayability here, and I like that as well. So multiple stages, as well as ships that you can unlock as you progress in this game. And so yeah, it's got a nice level design, and you know, this to me is just a fun classic shooter to play. You know, affordable price. You know, I know there's a lot of people that are gaming on Steam. You know, it's a great way to play games, and you can even go to their website, the link below to their website as well. So even if you don't have Steam, you can go directly to their website and play a demo. But yeah, this is an awesome little classic shooter. Lots to like here, lots of different challenges and difficulty, but that switch element of this game really makes it. There's checkpoints. It's at least on normal setting, it's actually very easy to progress, and I wanted to have it on this difficulty setting just to show you kind of some of the stages. But the bosses, awesome epic boss fights too, and you know, that's really what makes, to me, a great shooter, is, you know, having a challenging boss, and they have several in this game. But yeah, what I've played so far, I've really enjoyed it. You know, definitely I could see why they recommended a gamepad to play this, as you know, you're gonna have very tight gameplay, and you know, what I played so far, I really enjoyed it. Definitely. I did ask if it was compatible on the Steam Deck. It is not at this time, and so, but you know, playing this, you know, on a big screen, you're going to have lots of enjoyment, especially with, you know, if you want to play this with a buddy, local co-op. So, for sure. But yeah, there's the first boss here. You know, fairly straightforward. You got to switch back and forth so you avoid the enemies and bullets and gather points. So yes, it has lots of elements of other classic shooters that you may enjoy, and for me, I really like this one. So you get a ranking like that. You know, it shows you how many enemies you killed and all the stats that you would want in a shooter. So here's the second level. Here we go. Now the gauge on the right, you fill it up, and you get an overclock weapon. And I found, depending on the ship, it's different. But yeah, overclock is kind of like your special, and it's like your death blossom if you're a Last Starfighter fan. And it's really powerful, and it can take out several enemies pretty fast. But yeah, like it, really like it. And so, you know, you have to use that switch to kind of get through and progress in certain parts of stages. There's kind of a gratuitous checkpoints, at least on normal, that I found, but it made it more playable. Like, to me, if a shooter's too hard, I'm not gonna play it. And I love that this game has multiple different options on difficulty. So if you're a hardcore shooter fan, then you can play it on the, you know, the most difficult setting. Yeah, it's got some great music, kind of got a chill vibe to it. Yeah, I like myself some classic shooters. I'm not the best at them, but I do enjoy playing them. You know, I've recently at the Midwest Gaming Classic, and I was talking to a vendor, and I said, you know, you don't have to be great at a game to enjoy it. And it feels good when you do good at a game. And obviously, you know, the more you play a game, the better you get at it. So this is, you know, brand new game for me to play, but I've really liked what they've done here. Filling up that overclock, and then when you release it, you can just wipe out enemies pretty fast. Like any game, as you progress, it does get way more challenging. I found some of the bosses to be pretty tough. The third boss for me took a little bit to figure out. This is the second boss here. Pretty straightforward. Gets pretty fun. Yeah, it has just enough elements, I think, of some shooters of yesteryear. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to enjoy this one. Affordable price, too. I mean, that price is very reasonable. That's what I like about Steam games, you know. Even with, you know, many of them are on sale, like this one. This one has a discount right now. And it's fun to pick up a game, especially at, you know, those affordable prices. I kind of wish other platforms kind of took the nod from Steam. That's why Steam is so successful. Not to mention, been around a long time and consistent. So yeah, as you progress, you know, using that switch feature is super important. So if you die, at least on normal setting, you go back to the last checkpoint. You lose so many points when you do that. So there is a point value and a kind of bragging rights for getting through a stage on a credit, or even getting through this whole game with a credit. I know there's people out there that are going to try that. Good luck. But I know there's many hardcore shooter gamers out there, and you may want to try this one. A lot of fun. Lots of options out there, but you know, it's nice to see these little indie releases, you know, as I think, you know, more and more people are checking out indie games, and there's lots of really brilliant programmers out there making some really creative content, and unfortunately it gets buried sometimes with AAA titles. So I kind of gravitate to these types of releases more and more. I still like a AAA title, just like anybody else, but it's kind of fun to check out, you know, an indie release done by, I do believe this game was done by just a few programmers and people. So hats off to you, and just really neat to see when a game comes together. I really like what Super Nano Blaster offers for classic shooting, but you can also unlock additional ships. I did unlock one additional ship with what I've played so far. So with the different ships, they have different overclock abilities, and I think that adds a lot of replayability to this game. So it's nice that you can play with different ships, as well as, you know, kind of the different modes in this game. The endless mode is definitely sweet. So this, at least this ship I unlocked has at least some, was wiping out enemies and feeling pretty good about myself, because I didn't get to the next boss, which worked me pretty good. So there is challenges in this game. If you're looking at this saying, oh, it looks kind of easy, no, play it on a more difficult setting, and it gets pretty intense. I want to thank everybody for coming to my channel. If you like what you see, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and click the bell as I upload videos every week. You may want to check out Ankama Games, their website, for more info. You can go to Steam, play the demo. It is on sale right now, and check it out. This is the Immortal John Hancock. Thank you so much for coming and watching this. You take care.